welcome to another segment of Possibilities with Esther. It's been a wonderful week. I hope you enjoy your week for today. And it's another segment. Last week we had a discussion with Ma Louisa, which we talked about a topic, decision and choices, how it affects our life. And today we'll be having a special guest all the way from Nigeria, a student, a young-hearted leader, a CEO who has made his own world, a creative mind who sees the world differently, and also who, I would like to say this, a school dropout. You will find out why I said a school dropout, but also he's a CEO. This means that however we do life, we are the architect of our life one way or the other. Okay, so stay with us as I welcome our young creative mind leader of the Soul Blaze CEO, Mr. Afam Dozier, to the studio on Possibilities with Esther. Nice to have you, Mr. Afam Dozier. I'm so glad to have you on this program for today.
Hi, Esther. How are you? I'm glad too. It's my pleasure.
Yeah. The last time I saw you was on a big Turkey TV, which is TRT. It's also a partnership company with Ntr TV. So I'm so glad to have you on Possibilities with Esther, really.
My pleasure, Esther.
Yeah. So, Mr. Afam, I saw from your bio, which you sent to me, that really attracted my mind on that. You said a school dropout, and then I was wondering, can you tell us more about yourself apart from the work you do?
Oh, yeah. Hello, Esther. Once again, my name is Afam Dozier, the CEO of Soul Blaze. Yeah. I started this profession liking it because my dad is a mechanic as well. And growing up to know his own doings in the field, I liked it, and it wasn't a choice made by him. It was a choice I made for myself, and I'm not regretting it.
Wow.
Because being a mechanic for me is a passion, and it's a dream come true, if I would say, because I'm up to something, and I'm keeping it real. Yeah.
Wow.
So my primary school was in Benue State, in Otukpo precisely, here in Nigeria. I finished from the primary school, attended St. Francis Secondary School, same Otukpo. And I was in my JSS3 when I told I told my parents, I think I want to go into a technical school for me to expand my knowledge in mechanical field and learn more about the whole technicalism, which I did. And I've attended the Federal Technical College in Otukpo 2, Benue State. Then I found my way to the university. The reason I spell it out like I am a dropout is because personally, being to the university was with a lot of zeal. Like, I'm going to learn more, I'm going to expand my knowledge, but unfortunately, I wasn't getting what I wanted. The theoretical part of the mechanical profession was not to what I expected. So, and there was no practical. Let me just be blunt. There was no practical study in that university. So I felt, okay, yes, with all my knowledge from my dad, from the technical school, and with the future I see for myself, I don't think I should be in the university. So I decided to drop out. Wow. So the line being a dropout was a university dropout. So I had to just cut off from there and face the life of the mechanic world squarely.
Talking about the mechanic world, you know, most of the youths, whenever, okay, let me put it in this way, as a young person trying to approach a lady, you say, okay, what do you do? And you say, I'm a mechanic. You know, when you say a mechanic, people tend to see, is the ones that, you know, you understand what I mean? We always have it in a way that, like that. So how do you feel very comfortable saying, I'm a mechanic, and which I feel is a very good thing. You understand?
Trust me, I don't even see the other part of it from whoever looks at it. I'm a proud mechanic, and I love my job.
Beautiful.
People tell me sometimes I don't need to say I'm a mechanic. I say no.
Yeah.
I'm a mechanic. I don't call myself an engineer. An engineer is someone who manufactures, but me, I conduct repairs and I refurbish. So I think I'm a mechanic. In other way, I call it an auto technician, an automobile technician. Yeah, so telling, even if I meet a girl, I meet a guy, I meet a boss, I meet the secretary, I introduce myself. My name is Afam, I'm a mechanic. Take it like that,
Take it
and we
like
move
that.
on.
There's nothing like
Yes.
engineer,
No, no,
auto,
no, no, no,
whatever to
no.
form it
I'm
through.
not. I'm not interested in that. I just want to be the mechanic I know.
Finish. Okay, please, can you tell us more what your company does? What does
Yeah.
it do?
Yeah. Soulblaze is strictly a mechanical company where we conduct repairs, we do refurbishing, we do painting and spraying. So it's a full automobile workshop. The only thing Soulblaze don't do as a workshop is we don't build, we don't manufacture.
So it's like,
Yeah.
I know there's this program I used to watch on the MTV base or something like that by Exhibit. He does something like Pimp My Ride. It's Soul Blaze almost like Pimp My Ride, because I saw
Yeah.
some of your work, something like that.
Yeah, Pimp My Ride is a slang and a common name used for the Americans. But on the mechanical field, we call it refurbishing because you get from what has been to a newer version. So you
Yeah.
refurbish to a branded quality.
Wow.
So then some companies like Mercedes call it the aftermarket. Because for Mercedes, you have the regular Mercedes, and you have the AMG, and you have the Brabus. So the regular Mercedes is what we all see. Then the AMG is the aftermarket, and the Brabus is the pimping side of it to what the version comes in from that own department.
So what do you, how, leaving school, I know how it is, especially having our African parents, they can be very, very strict. And hearing from, you said your father was a mechanic. Was there any part of you before who wanted to do something, maybe, but you got influenced by what your father does? Would you say you were influenced by what your father was doing, or
No, no,
Afam
no.
already wanted to be that?
I had wanted to be a mechanic from my childhood. I never saw a picture of myself in any other field. My parents were thinking I was going to be a footballer because I played very well growing up. But my passion was based on the mechanic aspect, and there was nothing else as another choice. You know,
Wow.
in Nigeria, when you try to write the JAM, they tell you, okay, first choice of study, second choice. No, mine was mechanic. So I don't
Straightforward.
know. Yeah, straight up.
I'm, I'm just still trying to imagine, like, when you told your family that you want to stop this university of a thing because you're not getting what you wanted. Was there any kind of a restriction your family tried to make sure, okay, he's trying to make a mistake, my friends and family will say our child is a dropout, you don't have a degree, why are you dropping out of university? Was there all those challenges you faced from your parents?
Yeah, I did, mostly from my dad. My mom has always understood me as a child. She know whatever I decide or whatever my mind is laid to, I focus and I do it, and I come out with a good result. So she was not feeling bad to an extent, because she was like, okay, if you have to drop out, make sure you succeed in life. And I'm like, Mom, you don't need to worry about me. I'll be fine. But my dad was like, no, if you drop out, don't come to my house, find your way to wherever you are. I said, okay, it's not a problem, which I did. When I dropped out, he didn't welcome me back home. And that was how I moved on and started learning the profession I didn't know, because I already knew the basics and the minor repairs. So I now began to work with other technicians who are better than myself at that time, living from one workshop. If I get this knowledge of refurbishing, I go here to learn painting, I go here to learn upholstery, I go here to learn diagrams of the electronics, and it became a success, if I would say. It became a success. Yeah.
I'm so inspired by what you said, because a lot of people drop out of school just to be doing nothing, and some they just drop out without having a focus, without especially that focus is a very serious thing that most people, they have big dreams, but the problem is focusing on
Yeah,
what kept you focused.
focusing for me, it's who you are and what you want yourself to become, because your mindset matters as human. No matter what you do, your mindset, what you nurture, matters a lot. Because this generation now, people, just like you said, people want to drop out, they don't want to continue, but they are not channeled to what their dream. lie, where their dream lies. So for me, focus is key. Then you need to prepare your mind, because when your mind is made, you don't get any other information from anywhere. You go with what your mind tells you, you focus on it, and you engage. That engagement is very important, because when you're focusing and you're not fully engaged, there will be a fallout in the future, or maybe a distraction. But because you're focused and you're well engaged with your mind and soul, success is always the result.
True. You're very right. So how do you, as a youth of a Nigerian, we know that there are other people, young, vibrant people who would want to do this kind of field that you are into, but the technical, you know, it involves money and all those things and all that. If you should be in a situation of someone who doesn't even have the money to go through that, what would be your advice to that person on how to start?
Yeah, for me, trust me, Esther, it wasn't easy, because along the line, the little money I saved when I left the university, I survived to an extent, and it got finished. My mother supported me to an extent, but along the line, just like I said earlier, when your mind is on something, you go for it. Because I was once a driver. People never knew this story. I'm saying it for the first time. At some point in time, I was totally in the dark. No money to survive. I was squatting with a friend somewhere in Ikeja. And then I was learning welding and construction with one man in Oregon, if you know Lagos very well.
Yeah.
So there was no money. So at that point in time, the friend I was squatting with was not having two. And I was like, what do I do? I don't know how to beg. And I looked for a driving job. I was once a driver, and I was driving. My 3-month salary was saved, and I was lucky the man I was driving was also surviving me with some tip, and I was saving. So this comes to that making up your mind, because if I was not made up in my mind, I would have every reason to go back to my parents and start telling, oh, sorry, I'm back. Oh, what do you... No. But because I was made up already, I said, no matter the weather, come rain, come shine, I'll focus on this, and I know I'll definitely achieve. Because for me, another thing I tell people, you see, you need to identify your grace.
I love that.
You need to identify your grace. You need to identify what works for you. In the race of life, what works for Mr. A might not work for Mr. B. But because this generation now, people don't even identify their grace, they feel they can do what Mr. A is doing. So you need to identify that. So in those tough times, I had to be a driver. I saved up. I continued my learning. I now had to set up a car wash. I was saving them because I knew I was going to leave Nigeria for India, because Indian technology for me, I liked it. And I said it was the closest for me and the cheaper it is for me too. So I had to go through the whole process, became a driver. From the driver, I had a car wash. From the car wash, I was saving up until I paid everything I need to do for my visa. And that's how I found myself to India.
Oh, okay. So you actually, man, you see, I know I've known you for a while, but these are some insight about you that I never even thought. Because if I remember the aspect of Afam that I know, you're into the entertainment and you were doing it very, very, very good. At what point did you go to the India first before you find yourself in the entertainment, or it was after the entertainment aspect?
It was before the entertainment. I was in India. I learned everything I needed to learn. Then when I came back, the entertainment for me was a bypass to also engage in saving up to set up my workshop. So people don't really know why I was there at that point in time.
Yeah. You were actually doing it very well. Good. Like, very, very good.
I don't have a choice. If you want to become better, you need to put effort to it.
Yeah.
So while I was in entertainment, people know me as Afam. Afam is this guy, but they didn't know I was just gathering my coins. Because I already
Continue, I'm listening.
Because I already had my plans. So, you know, just like I tell people, don't disclose what you want to do. Just keep follow them the way they look at you, follow them the way they see you, but your plans are your plans. So then I was saving my coins, everyone was thinking, this guy is just in this entertainment. I didn't know, man. So Blaze is somewhere cooking something.
Yeah, So Blaze is really doing so good. So Blaze is doing so good. What's the inspiration behind So Blaze?
Yeah, the inspiration behind So Blaze is, I feel, for me, I came up with that mindset of, for you to succeed, you need to blaze up. Okay? Then blazing up, if you are so blaze, you do it so heartedly and you're blazing. So I just had to cut and join and made it So Blaze. And the inspiration behind it is, come rain, come shine, succeeding is a priority. So we ain't going nowhere.
You're not going anywhere. I actually jotted down, for you to blaze up, for you to succeed, you have to blaze up.
Definitely.
I'm definitely going to steal this from you and make sure that someday I use it again. For you to blaze, for you to be successful, you have to blaze up by
you need to keep the fire burning. You need to keep the fire burning.
You have to keep it fire burning. Talking about fire burning, who are your target audience? Your target audience for your work?
My target audience for what I do are car enthusiasts. People who are really passionate about automobile.
I see.
Not just car owners, not just car lovers. No, you have to be an enthusiast.
Can you Can you break it down a bit?
Yeah, being an enthusiast, you have all your mind centered to the passion and the love for what you want.
Not just the driving of the car, like
no.
Because among some of your customers, I saw top artists, big, huge artists that Nigerians know them, Africa know them. Can you mention a few that you have done their cars?
Yeah. I've worked for a couple of few. For Fino. Fino is a hip-hop artist in Nigeria, known everywhere too. Yeah. I've done for Techno. I've done for Skibi Mayana.
Yeah.
And a couple of them, because most times referrals and some of the directors too in the entertainment industry, they're sending their cars. Because most of my cars I refurbish are also used for the car props. Most of the video, the musical videos you see, those cars, those vintage cars were refurbished with sound, rims, and colors. They belong to me. So such people in the industry are my customers, and I appreciate them as well.
I have to blaze up so that I can bring my ride too. Let me
come and
pimp my ride in So Blaze.
That's my calling. I identify that as my calling.
Okay, Mr. Afam Dozie, thank you so much. Please stay with us. We've come to the half of this program, and we will go on a commercial break while we come back to talk about your mindset proper. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so we're going on a commercial break, and we'll be right back with Mr. Afam Dozie. Stay blaze up. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the second segment of Possibilities with Esther. For today's program, I have a special guest with me who has the mind of his own. He's a creative mind, CEO of So Blaze. He's so blazed up that he forms or renew or pimp or whatever it is when it comes to mechanical aspect of automobile. And here we've been talking about how far he has been going, how he started his journey, and how he had to go through all the challenges, the savings, changing job from one way or the other. And now he has his own place of work and he's doing wonderful thing in the industry. Mr. Afam Dozie, are you there with us?
Yeah, I'm here, Esther. I'm here.
I'm so happy to have you back again. I'm so happy to have you back again. Yeah,
thank you very much.
We've heard so much from you. I'm so inspired with so many aspects, especially your savings. You mentioned that you had to save, and to save means you have to do so many things. You went against, you didn't even care if your father was gonna say anything, you were focused. You left the system where everybody thinks that if you don't go to school, you'll never be successful. You left that. Some African parents will say you are disrespectful for not following what they wanted. You still move forward. You went being a driver, entertainment, everything just to save, to have yours. That was a journey.
It was indeed.
That was a big journey. And I wonder, do you teach youth? Do you have, the mechanical aspect? We know there are other interns. Sometimes we see younger
the
children.
apprentice.
The apprentice, yes. Do you have
Yeah,
apprentice?
I have 11 apprentices, and before now, others have graduated. They are good at what they learned from me, so they've set up their own. And presently, I have 9 on ground, and they are learning very well, and they are committed to what they want to learn.
Wow. It means you have, should we expect the School of Soul Blaze someday? What's the future?
Yeah, the future for that is cooking and preparing something, tertiary education for strictly mechanical.
Something fish is going down.
Yeah, something is cooking.
Okay.
Yeah, so because it's a thing of joy to pass the knowledge on to the young people who that this is what they want. So in doing that, it also draws down blessing because you give what you have. You can't give what you don't have. So I'm always happy to give what I have, whether knowledge or otherwise. I'm always happy to give what I have.
Yeah. Talking about giving what you have, how do you, it's globally right now, especially in Africa, and Ntr Tv broadcasts only in African countries. And we know the government issues. I'm not really going into politics, but I know a lot of youth, we are trying to depend on the government. You as a business owner and also seeing your own journey to this stage, what will be your advice to the youth how to pick up on their own game instead of depending probably on the government until when the government will be the best that we expect?
We can't be expecting the best from the government. For me, you can't be expecting the best from the government because they have their own problems to deal with. So for those who want to come on board on such a race of life, my first advice is persistence. You need to persist, you need to be patient, and you need to be focused. Because when your mind is made up on this, whatever it's never a bed of roses. It's never, because I had my own hard times. So what I say to people is, no matter what, you keep your feet strong on your belief, because you know yourself better than anyone can tell you. So the young people, I still advise them to stay focused, to persist, and to be patient, because there are shortcuts to life, but for you to succeed and stay top of your game, you need to pass through the process. So everyone around me, I tell them the same thing. You don't feel, people say, man, the problem of this country is too much. The problem of Africa is too much. The problem of blacks are too much. I said, no. As long as you have a goal, for every fine product you see underwent a process. So we are in the process. So you trust your grind and trust yourself. Most importantly, whatever you believe works for you. I believe in God, and I've always made him my director. So in that line, I keep trusting my grind, not letting anybody tell me what I don't need to know. I just stay focused and I'm moving. So that's what I have to tell the young people who want to succeed in life.
Wow, that's a wonderful one. That was a very wonderful one. If you look at AFAM right now, from 10 years before and 10 years later, and also now, how do you feel? How would you say AFAM has been?
Yeah, 10 years. 10 years before, I look at. Sometimes I even go through my pictures and I see myself then, and I laugh. The reason I laugh is because I'm not where I am seeing myself yet, but I know I'm somewhere.
Yeah.
And gratitude and being happy with what you do will keep you rolling. And seeing myself 10 years from now is going to be a different direction, because it's going to be bigger, it's going to be better, and it's going to be more interesting, because I'm enjoying the process and I'm pushing.
Keep pushing. Make sure you push it to Turkey, because Turkey happens to be one of those well-developed countries.
I've always had it in mind to visit Turkey, but I always want to prepare myself.
Yeah.
I travel, I love traveling, and I love exploring. But if I want to explore, I make sure I create the time I don't want to be in Turkey and someone is calling me in Belgium, someone is calling me in Japan. No, I want to come to Turkey and I know I'm for Turkey. So I'll be in Turkey, achieve my aim of being there. So definitely no distant time, Esther, I'll be in Turkey. No distant time before the year wraps up. Because I have like three more holidays before the end of the year. So I think Turkey should be one of them.
Yeah, Turkey should be one of them because Turkey happens to even invent a car, a recent one. I think a car that does not run on, that runs on electricity, or is it on air or something like that. And a Nigerian happened to be one of the inventors. So you see, Turkey has a very great, some knowledge to give you on the automobile, aspect.
I know about that because the last time we had the mechanical summit, some Turkish company who were on ground, their materials and all that we use are super good. So I think I'm still in contact with them. Then I'll make out time. Then I'll contact you as well. You guys send me an invitation. I'll just come over, spend the time, how to visit your studio live, and still talk about the way forward. Yeah. So I'm fine. I'll be in the
studio. Yeah, I would love to have you here in the studio.
Once I'm ready, I'll let you know. Then you do the needful.
Definitely, I will. So we are almost getting to the end of this program, and I usually, before the end of this program, I'll always ask my guests to tell us what you think about Possibilities with Esther, and also from Ntr TV. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, my thought is I love what you do, and I love how do I put it? I love the mindset of putting the possibilities, because people tend not to know that there are lots of possibilities to life.
Yeah.
And because they tend not to know is because they don't want to know. Because the more you dig deep, the more you see treasures.
Sure.
Then in a book, for me, the next page lies the fear, but the next page lies the greatness. So you should kill the fear, which is one of the possibilities too. Don't see no possibilities, see no rival, see no competitor. So I really like what you guys are doing. Keep doing it, because you don't know how much it's affecting young people who really want to learn. Some people really want to do these whole things in life that they have as their dream, but because nobody is there to guide or talk to them.
True.
So you don't underestimate what you're doing on your channel. I'm very, very comfortable with it, because you contacted me and I said, okay, Esther, make out time. And I took out my own time too to grant this interview. So keep up with what you're doing. Lives are going to be changed. There will be more possibilities, and we'll break boundaries with our possibilities too.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Mr. Afam. As you mentioned, I know how busy it can be for you, and I really, really appreciate you creating the time to talk to us. Trust you me, I have learned a lot from you. I have jotted down a lot of things, and I feel I have to blaze up. Like, we have to blaze up.
We have to. The future is ours, so we don't have any reason. It's ours. There's no reason for excuses.
No reason.
Because by the time you're digesting who said or who did not say, no, you're keeping yourself backward.
True.
Close your ears, believe in yourself, and head up.
Definitely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I hope to have you next time in the studio again.
Definitely.
Once again, thank you so much for having you.
You're welcome, Esther. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so that was it from Mr. Afam Dozie. I don't know about you, but for me, I am so blazed up. Like, his mindset is just so crazy. It's out of this world. You know what it means? To just leave the university, not because the money was not there. Yes, there was, but at the same time, he saw what he wanted and he went for it. Now, do not get it twisted, as Mr. Afam has also mentioned, that what works for this person doesn't mean it works for this person. So what works for Afam doesn't mean it has to work for that person. He knows what he wanted and he went for it and focused on it. So we're not saying that you should go and quit your university or whatever thing. No, there is always something to learn even from the university. There is a lot to learn from it. And also, you already know, try to find out your grace. Find your grace, find your passion, know what exactly you want. And then as you dig inside, that's where the treasure is. That I got from Mr. Afferman. Also, for you to be successful, you have to so blaze up. So keep watching NTR TV, keep watching Possibilities with Esther, and stay focused, stay blaze up, and keep thinking possibilities of this life. And the sky is not going to be your limit. It's just going to be your starting point. And stay tuned next time from this station and watching NTR TV. See you again next time. We're out.